that was a quick view of my current creative workspace, and you might be forgiven for thinking that this is a sign of complete chaos and deterioration of cognitive function, but no, this is indeed a pretty accurate reflection of my creative process, which can be tracked back on a timeline to quite early in the stage development. I like getting messy and getting stuck in there, and I am a kinesthetic and visual learner primarily. So it's helpful for me to acknowledge that, and it's helpful for me to incorporate that into my teaching style, but also in the way that I build and create resources so that they are accessible to a wider range of people. Of course, I do translate the work into the written space and the digital space as well, but there's something really satisfying about that extraction process from that internal creative space into or onto, in my case, usually a big sheet of blank paper, and that begins the process mapping and actually getting everything down. And then there's a kind of translation and distillation process that usually goes into visual consolidation. So I really like using imagery and logos, and that helps me really clarify my ideas. And it's from that point that I can then start to construct lucid narrative around actually the description and more detail around what that image actually means and what all the components are. So I just wanted to share that, and also, yes, it is definitely time at this point in the year to do a bit of a clear out of this is my work drawer. So this is having a cleanse. I'm being refreshed with handwritten bits of information. And I was having a conversation with someone the other day talking about the value of your handwritten notes. Only you can interpret sometimes, you know, the style of writing, if you've color coded things, you know, if you've used a particular kind of pen. These are all cues actually that help you in your categorization process. And I think a lot of it now is very intuitive, and these are almost like forms of shorthand that I've developed through more intensive research consolidation periods where I've had a lot of physical information to deal with. And the process that I've been in this evening, where I've actually been scanning, not in an in-depth way, but just to get that surface level information to be like, okay, where does this go? Like, what pile does this correspond to? And like, in what order should this go in the already massive chunk of information that's all been bundled together? Like, where's the prioritization on this? Was taking me back to Delphi study period when I was doing my master's, and there is still a photograph somewhere that I will try and retrieve, which is an existential moment of me sitting in a sea of paper, and I'm kind of encircled by a mass of information. And I think this was during the process where I was trying to work through the subsequent rounds of Delphi, so there was a lot of categorization going on. So I think in a way, that has very much informed the style of my approach to process mapping, and I'm still in that integration phase of bringing that into a digital space where that can actually be projected in a way that is more accessible for other people to view, which will be helpful later down the line in terms of team building. But at the moment, there's something quite cathartic about rummaging through all the papers and having a bit of a clear out and getting to scrunch things up and actually look at the scale of progress being made in a physical way. It somehow helps to bring a greater sense of appreciation of what you've actually been doing and what you've been working on. So those aspects of my own creative process, I feel like they do directly inform then how I like to give space and invitation for clients to explore exercises and tools and tasks that they might have been given in a holistic voice work session, and that there's actually a range of tools available there that are theoretical but also practical and that can be approached in a variety of ways. So it's kind of a nod to that. Sometimes we need to be given permission and a quality of space that is actually allowing us to approach a task in a way that is maybe a bit abstract, a bit left of field, and to know that we will come to our resolution and our understanding in our own way and in our own time, and that there is also a process of how we then bring that to a close and how we honour that as well. So those are my thoughts on that for this evening. And yes, I'm looking forward to actually having some more cognitive bandwidth, because I feel like, yeah, this is the equivalent of emptying your rubbish folder on your computer, and yeah, just feeling like there's more breathing space for you to focus on the next task at hand. So definitely in theme with harvest season, and I'll be really interested to know, what is your learning style? Do you know what your learning style is? How do you like to work creatively? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments.